Hello and welcome to Neat Me Debt Free. My name is Hannah and this is my space where I talk about my family's finances. Today's video we're going to rehash my debt. I had said that we were going to revisit our debt repayments and we did. We've done some work, but not as much as we have in the past. If you've been around, you know that we bought a house in March, and so there was a lot of settling of figuring out where the budget was going to be. I ended up quitting a job, and we bought some stuff for the house, so we haven't been as focused as we should have been on paying off debt, but some debt was still paid off. And we have some really awesome goals for 2022. So if you want to hear about our debt and where we are in this journey, where we're going, go ahead and stick around. So what I have up here on the screen is the total amount of debt that we paid in 2019 and 2020. So I had pulled that over into our budget, or my tracking system basically. We probably paid more than what's here. I wasn't really good at tracking in the beginning. I couldn't bear myself to look at the balances on things, how much interest we were paying. I just knew we needed to get traction somewhere. So basically what I did initially was just pick something that I was going to focus on and only paid attention to that one, paid the minimums on everything else. And then once it got to the point where, okay, I felt like I could deal with it, I started paying more attention. And even to this day, I'm still finding new things that I can track and look into because I'm more comfortable looking at the numbers. When we first started, I felt like we will never be out of debt. I thought, oh, okay, maybe we could pay off our credit cards and stuff like that. But I felt like there's no way we would ever pay off student loans. And here we are. If you saw my last debt video, we do have quite a bit of student loan debt. We were a six-figure debt to start with. We had our car payments, we had cell phone bills, credit cards, and student loans. So we have to date paid off 2 cars. So both of our cars are currently paid off. They're very old, but yes, they're paid off. We both have our cell phones paid off. We're not paying any monthly payments on those. We've paid off 10 credit cards. So we have no credit card debt. If you saw my budget with me for this month, you saw that I did have to pay off a big chunk of one of our credit cards, but I have a new plan for tracking our credit card usage because we do not use cash envelopes, and I'm optimistic that it will work a little bit better. But yeah, so excuse me. We have no credit card debt. We paid off 10 of those. And then so far in this journey, we have paid off 4 student loans. And so we're going to take a look at that. So I'm going to open up this, I believe. I'll just open it all and then we'll talk about it. Boom. Okay. So we initially started off with just our student loans. This is both me and my husband. However, we did buy a Peloton tread, I think in October. That sounds about right. So we did add to our debt, but it is interest free, as you can see right here. And depending on what's going on, I may pay it off early. Who knows? But with student loans starting interest rates again, or interest, yeah, they're going to be starting their interest accrual again. I've decided to prioritize student loans. So This is redundant. This was the initial starting amount of my student loans, so I actually could probably remove that out. But you can see here where my husband has quite a bit of student loans and we've not paid anything on them. And I do not have the interest information. He still has not provided me with all the details on his student loans, and that's a work in progress right there. However, you can see here that I have paid off these 3 student loans. I only have these 3 remaining. So let's see. I'm just going to pull this open here. And so the way that I track, I guess I can show this. This is the initial total amount. Oof. So when you calculate all these together, that's how much debt we had at the beginning of the year. Well, minus this because this didn't come until towards the end of the year. And I just basically track every month how much we paid. So we can scroll over and I will show you what we've done. So you can see there were months where we paid nothing to debt. So we bought our house in March. We signed the closing paperwork, and so obviously nothing really was done because I was saving aggressively the first couple months for our down payment, and then we were buying some stuff. And then during the summer, I got a little bit more aggressive about paying debt, and then it tapered off again. And then I had some friends in the debt-free community on Instagram that really inspired me to finish paying off my debt and get back focused, because I was too distracted by, decorating our home and just things like that I wasn't prioritizing debt repayment. And so I came back November with a little bit, and then here in December I've paid quite a bit. And a lot of this I did through like cashing out my Ibotta, my Rakuten, and also what was the other thing? Oh, I sold some stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and so like all those little payments added up, and so it got me to the point where I have 30. What is it? Oh, 3. I only have 3 student loans left for me. So this is the total for each one of these. And so you can see where this is how much is left on the Peloton. And this student loan went down to 0. I don't know why they got zeroed out, but yeah, so these are now down to 0. And then I like round numbers, so I've been working on getting my student loans down to round numbers so that I can just have to pay $1,000 or, just even flat numbers, because I don't know, it's more satisfying to me that way. But yeah, so this one's 2,000. This one is the one that I've been chipping at with all my Facebook Marketplace sales and stuff, trying to get it down to 3,000. And then this is the larger one at 4,000. So last year I did this too, and I didn't share this on YouTube, but on Instagram I like weaseled my way to getting 20K paid off, and I'm planning to do that again by trying to cross us over 50,000. So the first 2 years of us paying debt, we paid at least 20,000 each year. This year, it's about half that, but I'm giving myself grace because, I bought a freaking house and I filled it with stuff. Well, not filled it, but I bought some new things and I had to save for the down payment. So that's kind of where our focus was. So, but I would like to get back to, I wouldn't consider it like an intensity, but just recharging ourselves. So I think I'm less than $80 away from hitting that 50K threshold. So if you're interested in watching us hit that milestone, because I know I totally can do it because it's less than $100, go ahead and follow me on Instagram, because I'm probably, not going to share a debt update until probably January, so it'll already have passed. But we will definitely get to 50K paid for our total debt-free journey this year. So like I said, we're kind of low for the year, but for overall, we're so close to 50K. So yes, I'm working on that goal. We will get there. It's just we're only about halfway through the month, and so I hesitate to just throw that $70 in case I need it, but I think I can squeeze a little bit more out of the budget and get us to that milestone. So that's all of 2021. That's great. Now let's look at 2022. Where are we at? So you pretty much know where we're at. We have my 3 student loans. My goal for that 3,001 is to get it to 3,000. So I do want to surpass that 50K goal, and I will adjust this depending on what it is. But obviously, this is my aspirational goal setting. So we will put it out there into the universe that I will get that student loan down to 3,000, and I'll have my nice round numbers. I just transferred over the Peloton balance and then my husband's 2 student loans. And then this is the interest. So as of right now, there will be no interest. This is that carryover from the end of 2021. Hopefully I'll be at 50K plus, but just for the video purposes, I've put in 50K because that's the bare minimum that I'm willing to accept as the starting point for 2022. What's down here? I don't remember. Oh, nothing. Okay, cool. So January and February, I don't think I'm going to be able to pay much besides just the Peloton tread. I believe in February, I was planning to, our supplemental state taxes are going to be due in April, and so I paid some of it, but there's like over $2,000 that I need to pay before April. So I'm going to halt my student loan payment, and I know in February payments are supposed to restart, so I may just pay the bare minimum, and I'm not sure what the minimum payment is going to be at this time, so I've just kind of left it blank. But obviously I'll be paying on the Peloton tread. And then the goal for the rest of the year is to pay at least $1,000 for each one of my student loans, and that's minimum. So that I can pay my student loans off. So I would be at 2,000, the 3,000, and the 4,000. And so by the end of the year, I would have all my student loans paid off, and I would be personally, myself, debt-free, besides the treadmill and my husband's student loans. And so that is the plan. We'll start paying on his, and again, his will open up too. We are toying with the idea of just paying the bare minimum of his student loans, because he may qualify for some public service loan forgiveness, and so that's something. Once I get access to his student loans, we're going to look into that and see what it is we can do. But yeah, so I'm still waiting on some numbers. But yeah, that would put us at around 1,100 for the year minimum, and then over 60K overall. And so this is just a bare minimum projection with my tentative schedule. And again, if you've been around, you know I like to be a little bit more conservative when I'm setting goals and stuff and just be able to blast through them and exceed them. That tends to work for me. If I make goals too lofty, then I get discouraged and then I just don't feel like putting in the effort because I feel like, what's the point? So, yep, my goal for our debt is to pay off my student loans at the very least this year. And so that is where we are at with our debt. If you made it to this part, I appreciate you. Thank you. And yeah, make sure you're following me on Instagram because you'll get better updates on some of this stuff. Okay, thanks. Bye, guys.